Should we buy a new car? Should we buy a second-hand car? Should we buy a car at all?
Do you really need a car? Is that going to make any difference in your life? See, many people think car is an asset, but car is a liability. That's not known to many people. Before purchasing the car, ask yourself, can you afford it? You should not spend more than your 1 year's income. But because of the status part, many people with 5 lakh rupee income are purchasing 15 lakh rupee car.
The first thing we want in life is to quickly get out of the college and get a high paying job. The second thing we want from life is to buy our own car, isn't it? But what is this business all about? Should we buy a new car? Should we buy a second-hand car? Should we buy a car at all? Well, today all these questions are going to be answered in this video where I have with me the CEO and founder of Indian Money's Freedom app, Mr. C.S. Sudheer. Hello, welcome sir.
Thank you.
So first up I'll ask you, do you have a car?
Yeah, I have a car.
So should we buy a car, like a new car? When should we buy it? The first question actually is when. When is the best time to buy a car?
See, it's not about like a particular time, it's about the necessity. Do you really need a car? Is that going to make any difference in your life? Then buy it. It is not going to make any difference. Without car, I can still survive. Then it's okay, absolutely. See, for example, for me now, every morning I leave home at 8:15. My driver drops me to office. Then he drops my son to school. Then he goes back, picks my second son. Then he drops him to school. All that happens. And then I have to go for meetings. I use my car. All that happens. I travel to my native. I travel to our other places. Office trip. Yes, car is required. But you are now somebody, you stay in a place which is about 5 kilometers, 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers from your residence. You have very good public transportation. You have no place to park your car. You buy a car and you have to park it in the public road, which means you're going to damage your car. You're going to waste your money. You may not really need your car now. So if you know that, okay, you have all the things in right place, then you can buy it. But the most important element you need to ask here is it something that purchasing a car, see, many people think car is an asset, but car is a liability. That's not known to many people. I wanted to know, for example, I buy a 10 lakh rupee car. I drive 10,000 kilometers every year. My cost is, number one, 20% depreciation every year. 2 lakh rupees straight gone. Second is, to drive 10,000 kilometers, my cost is another 1 lakh rupees.
Yes, petrol is so expensive these days.
Correct, no? So the other service expenses. So which means I am spending 3 lakh rupee yearly to drive 10,000 kilometers. In a 10 lakh rupee car, if you want to hire the car with the driver,
yes,
you can get it for 10 rupee per kilometer.
Correct.
Correct, na? Which means you're losing 2 lakh rupee extra. But still, if you think it's a status symbol, it's convenience, you need it to, you get it whenever you need it. But because in Bangalore now you would have noticed, these days every evening you've got rain. You're getting ready to go home and you have rain. And when it is raining, Ola, Uber is not available, taxis are not available. You need convenience, have your own car.
One day for 45 minutes I was outside on the road waiting for an Uber auto or an Ola or a cab in Bangalore.
Yeah, you don't need it. So because of that convenience, yes, it makes sense to do that. But remember again, before purchasing the car, ask yourself, can you afford it?
Yes.
So probably that's when we need to ask ourselves, how much should we spend on the car?
Because I would like to tell you, this is more prevalent in North India, especially where I hail from, Delhi. That car is a status symbol. That first thing that a person asks when they are going to, marry their son or daughter to somebody is that, does the guy have a car?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Absolutely. So I think, see, how much should we spend on the car?
Yes. How much should we spend?
Right. So now if it is, a very simple answer is, thumb rule is, you should not spend more than your 1 year's income.
1 year's income on a car.
So which means your annual income is 10 lakh. Spend maximum 10 lakh rupees for the car. But because of the status part, many people with 5 lakh rupee income are purchasing 15 lakh rupee car.
Yes.
They're putting themselves into a trap.
Yes.
They should not do that. You should not spend more than 1 year's income on a car.
But there is one more question which arises is, how should we buy a car? Should we get a loan, a car loan? Or, like people think that let's give the down payment all one at a go and then let's get done with this. So what should be the procedure to buy a car?
So when it comes to purchasing the car, a lot of people have this confusion. See, now if you have money, let's say now Sugandh wants to buy 10 lakh rupee car, she has got 10 lakh rupee. Go ahead, just pay the money, get it, because the car loan interest will be anywhere between 8 to 10% or 7 to 8 to 10%. It's better because you don't have any guaranteed investment option which gives you 8-10% returns.
Yes.
So it's better you pay it off once for all and take the car. But you don't have money. Then make the down payment and buy the car. But remember one thing, you should make minimum 30% of the car value through down payment. Many people try to avail 85% car loan, 80% car loan. No.
So they just pay 15% and want 80%.
Minimum 30% should be paid through
Down payment.
70% you can go for loan. But there's another bigger problem which I have noticed many people are committing is, they try to buy a car and they have no money. They take this 30% or 20% down payment amount from a credit card or personal loan, and 80% they take car loan, and which means 100% of the car value is loan.
Yes.
That's a big crime. Please don't do that. You'll put yourself into trouble.
What is is it that we are paying too much interest? That's why you are saying this?
No, not that. Because see, if you can't arrange 25-30% the car value for down payment, how are you going to manage the car?
Correct.
See, now you have to pay the EMI also, plus you have to pay credit card bill or personal loan EMI. How are you going to manage?
And the fuel.
And the fuel and the maintenance of the car. All these years, you couldn't save money to make the down payment. How are you going to manage all these expenses now? So that's not going to happen. So hence, going forward, if you want to buy a car, minimum 30% the car value you should be able to pay through down payment. That much money you should have it.
So this is just another question. When we plan trips, like if you plan that I have to go outside of Bangalore and people want to go in their car, is it advisable if you are buying a car, it should have this minimum run in 1 year? That you should go on trips in your personal car, only then you buy a car. Or if it is there, you should use it for the trips. Like people avoid.
No, I think less than 10,000 kilometers annually doesn't make sense to own a car.
Okay.
Because the depreciation cost is so high, the investment is so high, it doesn't make sense at all to own a car and using it for less than 3,000-4,000 or 5,000 kilometers. At least 10,000 kilometers you should be able to run it. That's when it makes sense, to own the car. And the other thing here is, you asked a very valid point. Even if you have a car, if it is something like, you're traveling for far away distance and all that, if it is like the car is in good condition, makes sense to drive yourself. If the car is not in a good condition, please be very cautious. Many times what happens, you take the old car and it breaks down. See, that's what happens. I mean, many people ask me this question, should I buy an old car or a new car?
Yes.
A pre-owned car.
Yes, that was going to be my next question. That second-hand car or like...
So I think this question is very important because see, many times if someone is selling their car, they have some problem with the car. Very rare it happens that someone is selling the car because they are purchasing a new car or things like that.
Yes, true.
But if they are selling an old car to you, there are problems. Now you buy that old car and then tomorrow something goes wrong, you'll be trapped. I had this experience myself. I think about 12 years back, 2009 or early 2010, I just started Indian Money that time and I had an old Indica car. It's a pre-owned car I bought it. I had a marriage to visit in Palace Ground in Bangalore. On the way back home, I had to drop my friend in Paleshwaram. I went inside and I dropped my friend. Right after that, I heard a very big noise there, sound. Then I was told that someone was killed there, right in front of me. I saw that person falling down, he was hit from the back and they killed him right in front of me. After I dropped my friend, my car didn't start. I was literally about 20 feet away from that incident where the murder happened. My car, I'm just trying to start, it's not starting. Then my friend and the family members, they pushed the car. They pushed almost for half kilometer to take me out of the scene. Otherwise, I was trapped inside. My car was parked there. In fact, anything like that, probably if my car would have been there by the time police reached there, I would have been like questioned, unwanted things. Yes. And then again the car didn't start. I had to park the car somewhere in the middle of the road there and came home. And then next day I took somebody, lot of time waste. Just imagine what if this happens when you have your family, your kids with you, and it stops in the middle of the highway.
Yes.
And you have no one to help. And in fact, even in the highway today, even if they have family and someone stops my car seeking help, I won't stop. Because we have heard all the bad experiences people have gone through. So my suggestion is, when you buy a car, if you know that you're going to use this for round the clock, you're going to use it for long travel, you're going to use it for remote locations, please buy the car with good condition. Otherwise, if it breaks down, you're going to be in trouble. So even today, even if I have a brand new car, I make sure that if I have to drive, if I don't have my driver, I don't drive. I hire a car and go. Because it's not convenient. If it stops in between, something happens, it's going to be a challenge.
So now I'll tell you some information and then ask a question. So in Punjab, Chandigarh, Delhi, so many of the guys, what they do is they buy pre-owned luxury cars. Like they'll buy a second-hand BMW, Mercedes at a very low cost, and they do not even have money to maintain it. This is a little funny as well, and this is for the status symbol. Once I sat in a car like a BMW of my cousin who had bought it pre-owned, and he said that window won't go down. So what about the maintenance? Once a person has bought the car, maintenance is an issue.
I think, this is where people don't calculate it, right? The easy way to calculate this is, whatever the fuel cost is there per kilometer, equal amount you will spend in car maintenance. That is for replacing car tires or the regular maintenance, and then the insurance cost. So for example, my car, I get about 8 kilometer, 9 kilometer mileage. Now, which means I spend literally about 10-11 rupees for fuel per kilometer. Equal amount I spend for maintenance, which means for every 10,000 kilometer I drive, if I spend 1 lakh rupee on fuel, I spend equal amount for maintenance.
And tires are so expensive.
Tires, and then you have insurance.
Yes.
Insurance is like so much cost. So you consider all that, you spend equal amount of, which means my car, I'm spending literally 20 rupees per kilometer, and this doesn't include depreciation actually, and this doesn't include the driver expense. So if you calculate that, it is like so much money you spend. But of course, it is for the convenience and different reasons. So when someone with income of, let's say, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh when they're purchasing a car, they have to be very cautious, because it's not an appreciating asset, it's a depreciating asset. Car value goes down day by day. Have you met all your other priorities? You have not taken care of other priorities. You're purchasing car, you're wasting money here. Be very cautious. Prioritize. See, today, someone like me, like if you're in Bangalore kind of cities, if you can plan it really well, public transport is pretty decent.
Yes.
Right? And you can hire a car, all that, you can manage it. And then you don't really need, because see, as I said, cars like Toyota Etios or Maruti Swift Desire kind of cars, you get it at 10 rupee per kilometer on hire. 10 rupee per kilometer. But the same car, if you own it, your cost is 20 rupee. Without a driver, I'm telling you. People can calculate, however you calculate.
Yes.
That too, even if you drive 10-15,000 kilometers annually. So why do you want to waste so much of money? If you can hire a car, manage with it, great, do it. Otherwise, you buy it only if it is necessary. But remember one thing, there's one more big issue with maintenance. We all have to renew our car insurance every year.
Yes.
There's a big mafia when it comes to car insurance. Every year when you buy your car insurance, not only what happens, you reach out to some agent whom you met or whom you got connected online. This agent says, sir, transfer this money, sir, I'll get you the insurance copy. And you don't pay the money to insurance company, you pay the money to somebody's account, or you give a check to someone. He says, I will pay, don't worry. Now what happens, he sends you insurance copy. It is edited, it's a Photoshop. It's not a real one.
Oh.
You will not be able to make out, even the police will not be able to make out when they catch you. to check your insurance copy. They say, oh good, you got insurance, go. But you meet with an accident
And you
and
claim
you
it.
claim the insurance, they say it's a fake policy. They say it's a fake policy and you won't get any claim. In case you meet with an accident, your car is damaged, 1-2 lakh rupee billing, you can still pay from your pocket, you can manage. What if you go and hit someone, you break their leg, and they go to court and claim a compensation of 20 lakh rupees? You have to pay from your pocket. Hence, whenever you buy a car insurance, make sure the car insurance policy document comes to you from the insurance company's email address directly to you.
Or posted at your address.
And you pay the premium from your bank account directly to insurance company's website or by check addressing insurance company. Even if you give addressing insurance company, make sure you write the proposal number in bracket. For example, I'll come to you. I will write the insurance company name, but I don't write the proposal number. That money can be used to buy one more insurance policy for somebody else, but not for me. People can fool you in all ways.
But what if we are going online and buying it ourselves?
So even if you're purchasing online, so for example, there are a lot of broking websites and
Yes.
all that, you can still buy it, nothing wrong, but make sure everything is correct. A lot of times what happens while purchasing insurance, they just declare less IDV, what we call as insured declared value. So normally they declare less amount so that they can save on the premium, but tomorrow when they meet with the accident, they go for claim or they lose the car and they go for claim, they get less money.
Yes, correct.
So don't try to save money on those places. Obviously you have to compare insurance and buy the best one, but don't make the mistake of reducing your IDV.
Yes. That was really helpful information for me as well and our viewers, because two things that I've learned from this interview. First of all, I don't want to call a car an asset now, because the moment it is out of the showroom, it's making me spend money on it.
Absolutely, it's a liability.
Yeah. And second thing is that, yes, I have also done this thing that I have purchased insurance from a person. Although I received the documents, but now I'm just thinking, what if I wouldn't have got the claim? So yes. So this is an information for all the viewers as well. If you want to buy a car, first of all, buy a car which has the value which you can afford. Like sir said earlier, whatever your annual package is, try to buy a car of that value only, so that you can maintain it, so that you can bear the fuel cost. Second thing is, while you're purchasing your car insurance, please do it from an authentic source, which means that you pay the money directly to the insurance company and get the policy. And yes, one more point here which I would like to reiterate is that try not to go for a second-hand car which can break down anytime and leave you at a point when you need it the most. If you have really got some good insights from this interview, follow us, subscribe to our channel and share our channel's link with your friends and family. Download the Freedom app, because we have a lot of courses on personal finance, small businesses and farming there, which can help you earn a livelihood and make your financial health better. And if you also want to comment and tell us which other topic you want to watch, I can again ask Sudheer sir to throw some light on that topic which you asked for. So yes, we are now looking for what the public wants. So write in the comments, what should we speak about? This is your host Sugandh Sharma signing off.